regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark. You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Hello, Jobfather Nation. So good to see everyone today. And I guess my background just left the screen. We'll get that taken care of. But please remember that we are part of NTX Radio, a podcast and radio collective. You can listen to us on NTX Radio, and NTX Radio proudly serves all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on TuneIn Radio. Just listen on the Android radio version, the Apple radio app version, Apple CarPlay, or you can ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. Check our valued lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We really truly thank our partners for helping us to amplify the voices of North Texas. Let's do this before we get started. We have a really exciting show before we get into this wonderful Memorial Day weekend where we appreciate and recognize all that have served for our country. Let's bow our head for a quick word of prayer. Father God, I just want to thank you for this time of gathering to not only support and bless job seekers and job transitioners, but also for the opportunity, Lord, to network, to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And we just want to thank you as we go into this Memorial Day weekend for those that have so kindly served our country, given their lives, and stepped up for the freedoms and the safeties that we have. Please bless their homes and their families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, Foster, I am so excited to be here. I'm sure you have a dad joke, and we have a phenomenal guest of the first half. But I'd love for you to bring us in, and we can start with any updates and introductions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yeah.
And I see my buddy Kathleen McGregor is with us. I'm from McGregor, Texas, so I get excited when I see Kathleen McGregor. And Jim Williams, my brother from another mother, all right. And usually Sharon is out there, but we got Sharon with us today. So, guys, Thomas Edwards Group is with us right there. The principal people that you guys probably see the most of, Sharon and Sarah, are with us. And I today am wearing I'm wearing Sarah's favorite shirt.
Oh, how fun.
That's an inside joke that Sarah and I've had forever. So
Love
let's see
it.
who else. Nikki Duncan. Hey, Nikki. We got to get you on here, Nikki. So, guys, I want to. Well, Dana and I always like to share opportunities that we know about. I am looking for a tax manager and an FP&A analyst,
Woo.
financial planning and analysis manager. No, uh, FP&A analyst. I got it wrong. So if you guys are either of that, let's talk. Foster.williams at sbcglobal.net is the best email to contact me on. Send me your resume. Let's talk. I'll tell you more about it. This just came in like an hour ago. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I do know the hiring manager, and I'm going to talk with her after the show, and we're going to dig into what this is and what it looks like and all of that stuff. So I don't know that right now, but I know that we're looking for an FP&A analyst and we're looking for a tax manager. And those are jobs that usually fall to the Thomas Edwards Group. We're going to be talking about that. We also are going to be talking about what's hot and what's not in the market
Woo-wee.
with the ladies from Thomas Edwards Group. So, Dana, before I go into this dad joke thing, you got something?
No, well, we are hiring for a very entry level staff accountant, very beginning level type responsibilities.
Oh man.
And we are hiring for four individuals, I believe two insurance account receivable specialists in the healthcare space, and then two billing specialists in the healthcare space for our corporate office here in Dallas, Texas. All of our positions are posted on our website, Beacon Oral Specialists with an S.com. That's
Hmm.
beaconoralspecialists.com. Check it out, and we would love to speak with anybody that is, greatly qualified and very interested. It's a great company, a lot of opportunity for growth.
Okay, that is excellent. I'm okay. It's always me trying to make you guys laugh. So my 95-year-old aunt that leads Bible study that involved with, I was on the phone with her this morning. First thing, she said, "I got a good joke for you to tell, or to a good question for you to ask everybody this morning." So, guys, what do you get when you cross pollinate poison ivy with w- w- with a four-leaf clover? There, I got it. Oh my goodness. We're cross-pollinating
Hmm.
poison ivy and a four-leaf clover. What do you get?
Hmm. Poison luck.
Aunt yeah, it was Aunt Eddie, Mads. Um, you
What
get
is
a
it?
rash. You get a rash of good luck.
Ooh. Now that's not a bad idea. That's
Look
funny.
at Sharon. Sharon's like, oh my God, Foster, you try so
Mhm.
hard, it just ain't working, son. Okay, guys, so here we go. This whole show today is going to be dedicated. We're going to be talking about why it's important for us to know who Thomas Edwards Group is. We've got the two. Well, Sharon is the director of business development for those guys, and she's one of the principals, and the most visible, in my estimation, the most visible person at Thomas Edwards Group is Sarah Jacob, and there she is right there. So you guys, Sharon, we'll start with you. I like starting with Sharon because Sharon said I get Sharon. She sits on guest recruiter panels and all sorts of stuff all through the
Yeah.
network. And I see Sarah every Monday at Monday Motivators. Hey, Sonia. We love you. So, guys, kick in and tell us stuff about Thomas Edwards Group and all that stuff. What do you guys cover? And then I'm going to get into why we build a relationship with you guys. Then I'm going to let you guys say what you enjoy about the relationship with the Career Search Network.
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Gotcha. Go Stars.
Okay. Okay. Yes, go Stars. If I didn't have this background, you could see my rally
Oh, yeah,
towels
that's right.
and all the
Uh-huh.
streamers from the games. Um, I almost wore my jersey, but I thought better of it.
Well, you
Oh,
know what,
feel free
Sharon?
to.
I think the whole network knows that Sharon's a Stars fan, so it wouldn't surprise anybody, I don't think.
Well, we really appreciate being able to come on to the Jobfather radio show. I try and participate just about every
You
week
do.
when I
You do an
can.
absolutely wonderful
Um,
job.
there's a lot of different places that are serving the job
Uh-huh.
seeker, and so we have to sort of divide and conquer, and we also get to choose where we
That's
spend
right.
our time.
Mhm.
And this network and the other one that you mentioned, also Frisco Connect and the Career Search Network over in Fort
Uh-huh.
Worth
South Lake Focus
and
Group.
South
Yeah.
Lake. I mean, there's so many, so we're thankful that there's enough of us over here at Thomas Edwards Group that we can kind of divide and conquer
That's
a
right.
little bit. But um, Thomas Edwards Group, for those of you who don't know, we're a boutique executive search
Mhm.
firm. We're a contingent search firm. We've been in the Dallas area for 28 years now. We're based here. The leadership and the ownership group is here, and we are dug in here. We have an office in Dallas. We also have a presence on the Fort Worth
Oh.
side of the
Mm-hmm.
Metroplex. And our specialty is helping businesses build rock star accounting, finance, HR, and IT
Mm-hmm.
teams. We do that by matching good candidates with our clients, either on a permanent basis or on a contract
Okay.
basis. And basically, that's what we do. I'm one of the partners. I've celebrated 24 years not
Oh my
too long
God.
ago with Thomas Edwards Group. hmm And Sarah came to work with
Yeah.
us about a little more than 5 years ago. And Sarah and I work really closely together in trying to help spread the word about Thomas Edwards Group and
Sarah's a recovering
business
CPA, isn't
development.
she?
Yeah, she's a recovering one. I, for some reason,
That's kind of
continue
funny.
to be a
Go
CPA.
recovering.
Yeah.
Now, I
hmm
think, if I remember correctly, I think that finance and accounting was the initial area that you guys showed expertise in. And if I'm getting this
Yes.
right, You guys did such a good job because I had a couple of companies ask me, and I'm like, look, I don't work for Thomas Edwards Group, but I feel like I do. But I think you guys got into HR and IT because you did such a good job with the companies, with the other stuff, with the finance and accounting folks. Didn't they ask you guys, hey, could you guys help us hire an IT person? Could you guys help us hire an HR person? And then it got to a fevered pitch, and you guys had to open up. You didn't have to, but you chose to open up divisions to support that because you were getting so much requests. Is that true?
Yeah.
It is. It is. Our primary focus is small and middle market companies. So, we don't happen to have contracts with,
Oh yeah,
AT&T and McKesson and some of the big
they got
big
enough.
companies because primarily they have their own talent acquisition team. Um, but we come alongside mid-sized companies and partner with the talent acquisition teams. And because we did so many CFO type searches and made placements and have so many people in that network at that high level, they would call us and say, well, I know that you do this, but HR rolls under
Uh
me
huh.
Yeah.
or IT rolls up under me.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you do that too?
Uh
Do you do
huh.
that too? And the first one was HR. And we thought, well, you know what? We work with HR all the
That's right.
time when we're working on opportunities, right? We're partnering with HR and our clients and coming alongside them and supporting them. And so we started calling them and saying, hey, do you know somebody? Because we have a client that wants this and wants that. And
And
we
you
were
know what my
hugely
answer was.
successful there. And
Yeah. For
I got
sure.
plenty. Hey, Sarah, what attracted you to Thomas Edwards Group? Because you were doing something different.
Sarah, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I think she might be having sound issues on her
Yeah.
end.
That was a good question, though, Foster. Seriously.
I really got nothing but respect for Thomas Edwards Group. I'm always talking about Thomas Edwards Group,
Yeah.
so
You
I
know, I
figured I'd
think
ask
one
her
of the
that question.
companies I've worked with have used them before, and I think we've always had a good experience. And
Hmm.
it's interesting. I was reconnecting with one of the account representatives I worked in the IT space a long time ago that was very similar to how Sarah manages her clients, and they were so good and so attentive
Oh
to our
yeah,
needs that we started using them for areas that they weren't even their wheelhouse because they were still sending better candidates, better write ups, and providing better customer service than companies that specialize in that area. And when you find a good organization like Thomas Edwards and a good person that you partner with to do to work with in order to call out a role and start getting candidates and generating that funnel of people, it makes a difference. It really does.
yeah, it
So I'm
really
really
does.
excited about that. Yeah.
You know,
What's
the leaders at Thomas Edwards have all been in the trenches, as
Mhm.
Sharon and I would say. And
Oh yeah.
you know what, guys? I am excited, uber excited that Sarah and Sharon would spend time with Career Social Network, and I would say that it's been a very successful relationship between us, all the way down to the Stars winning the first game. I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
you know what, guys? I want you companies to understand that we are a huge network. We expand out into about 25 states now. I think we are, and in Dallas Fort Worth alone, I think now this is a guess, guys. We're guessing that there's getting close to 200,000 active job seekers in this network. So they get to hear this voice, they get to hear, and they get to see this radio show, and all of that's going on. So we wanted you companies. I invited a number of companies to the show today, so you can hear why another company uh, teamed up with us.
Yeah.
So Foster, can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you
We got
now.
you now,
Fantastic.
Sarah.
Sorry about
Yay!
that. It was working before we got started, but I'll go ahead and answer your question if that's okay.
Yeah, that's good. You're an Aggie. I figured
Thanks.
something.
I
Yeah.
know. I
I'm
know.
kidding, guy. This is kidding stuff. Me and Sarah love each other.
We
This is
do.
family kidding
Yes.
stuff.
We
We
do.
have a good time.
We have a great time. And Foster, I swear Foster wears that shirt just to poke at me, but that's okay.
I did today.
All
Yeah.
good. Thank you for having us. Like Sharon, I'm honored to be here and help in any way that we can. To answer your question, Foster, I spent 21 years in Big Four accounting, both
Oh
as
my
an
goodness. You
auditor
don't even
and
look
then
that
as
old.
a talent acquisition director.
Oh, how fun.
Yes, I loved it. It was great while it was great.
Uh-huh.
Got to a place about 6, 7 years ago where I was traveling 50, 60, 70% of the time.
Oh yeah.
It was great. I got to see the world and on KPMG's dime, which was fantastic. But my kids were getting a little older, and I found myself in a role where I was managing or dotted line managing a couple hundred people. And I really missed the one on one interaction with my
Uh-huh.
candidates. I really missed the one on one relationship building. Um, and quite honestly, I really missed my kids and my husband. And
Yeah, it sounds like it.
so I looked around. I did what we encourage all of our executives to do, and really all of our candidates at any level, which is talk to people you know, talk to people in your network, see who they know, see how somebody can help. And a good friend of mine from a not for profit board introduced me to Cliff Edwards. He's the founder of Thomas
Oh
Edwards
yeah.
Group. I went to lunch with Cliff, and by the end of the lunch, I said, I don't know much about agency recruiting. I don't know much about how this business works, but I know a lot of people and I like to help and I love to talk accounting and finance, which is weird because not many people like to do that.
Well, that's true.
And so we kind of kept the conversation going, and it just felt like a breath of fresh air to me, something new, something different. I went from one of the largest companies in the globe to
Oh
a
yeah.
small baby firm with 30 employees, but it was the right fit. So I've been here 5.5 years now. I get to work directly with Sharon, and
That's
I guess
nice.
most importantly, I get to help my candidates find jobs or find somebody in my network I can help them with, help them in some way, resume or LinkedIn or connections, and then help more, I guess, just as importantly, help my clients build up their teams and find the help that some of them so desperately need. So it's been a great fit.
That has been a good fit. You've been happy. We've been to barbecue with
Mhm.
Sarah and and Sharon. And hey, Pete Hernandez out there, know you're checking us out. We're praying for you, brother. Get well. Come on back. Come on back to us, man. We know you will. So, okay, ladies, you guys comb uh the market. I like okay, how can I say this? I like the size of the companies that you guys choose to work with. Not the gigantic company. Ain't nothing wrong with you gigantic companies,
No,
but
yeah.
I like where you guys operate. What are you seeing in the market? Is it getting better? Is it slowing down? What are you guys seeing on your dockets?
Sharon, you want to take this? Here's what I'll say. I have been in the accounting recruiting space for now 25 years at
Ooh,
least, and
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen it slow down. So
yeah,
if you look at our job board, great economy, not great economy, there's some disruptions certainly right now. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, but accounting is, I guess, kind of always hiring, right? Everybody
Oh,
needs
yeah.
an accountant. Across levels, across industries, especially here in DFW, we are blessed to be in such an amazing business kind
yeah,
of center. Um, I think when it comes to finance and HR, in my opinion, it's just kind of hit or miss. It's been a little slower. It's been up and down. It depends on the industry. It depends on the size of the company. Some of my CEO and CFO friends have shared that they're just kind of stuck in a spot where they don't have approval for some, FTEs that maybe they need, or they are working under, let's try to get through this season with a little bit leaner of a team. That creates some opportunities, I would say,
Yeah, it
from a
does.
candidate perspective for either fractional work or contract work when when our clients don't have the opportunity or the budget to hire someone full time, they may need help in the short term. And so it just, the pendulum kind of swings back and forth, but right now that's what I would say I'm seeing the most of.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, guys, either Sharon or Sarah, um, out there in the accounting and finance
Ooh,
world,
something is.
I know some things that anyway, guys, do you guys hire many tax people? Or is it certain times of years where you see more activity in the tax arena? I've got two
Oh my
tax
gosh.
manager friends of mine that I want to connect with you guys.
Yes. So there are tax people that are employed in public accounting, right? Um, and those people are typically involved with corporate
Uh-huh.
tax, right?
Yeah.
You and I know more about individual tax, right? So when anybody meets me and they say, "Oh, you're a CPA," they automatically assume I do taxes, and they
Yeah, that's true.
automatically assume that I'm really, really busy around March and
Uh-huh.
April, right? Well, the primary people that we would talk with would either be tax professionals that are in corporations or are in public
Mhm.
accounting. Most of the time, they're either handling, high net worth individuals or companies. If it's high net worth individuals, of course, they have a April 15th deadline, but corporations are more September and October. So there's also, so tax is a lot more than just what I think people assume that it's, oh my gosh, you're busy as bee, in
Uh-huh.
April, March and April. There's also people that are involved in indirect tax, which is
Okay.
sales
Okay.
tax and use tax and things like that. And um, uh, there's all kind. Well, we all know how many different types of taxes
So
there
Right.
are.
yeah,
So,
boy, do we ever.
um, but we do place people in tax.
Good. I kind of figured you would. So, guys, tell me this. Uh, I feel, of course, I built a big portion of this network. Um, I feel that special types of people are,
Mhm.
of course, that's true. But the type of individual that gets involved in the network, I believe, is a superior hire than some folks that are just out on the computers and sending resumes everywhere and all that kind of thing. What would you guys say about your involvement? Obviously, you guys have made an investment of time in the network. What have been some of the things that have been a positive for you guys in doing so?
There's a lot of positives. I would think one of the biggest ones is if somebody shows up at a Frisco Connect meeting or an executives in transition, they're in a
Yes.
vulnerable spot. They're in a really, really vulnerable spot. Some are more confident than others, and some are more vulnerable than others. And looking for a job is not the same today as it was 10 years ago, and it's not the same as it was 15 years ago. And it can be a very, very, very scary time.
Hmm.
And
Ah.
helping people navigate through that is what we do
Every single
every
day.
day. And so, if we can just bring some help and some hope, and give some guidance to people who are looking for a job, that's the best thing. I'll tell a quick story because we're almost out of time before the break. But I don't know how many people we've placed that
Uh-huh.
we've met through the network, but there was a particular day that a lady came up to me and she introduced herself to me. She was a little blend of accounting and project
Okay.
management, if you will. And I went back to the office, and the next day, Sarah brought in a client that had a job that was perfect for her.
Ah,
And we submitted her resume. She got the job, and she's still in it and loving every minute of it.
now that's a good story. Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
that even happens.
Guys, we encourage you. You hear my voice all the time, so I love for you guys to hear Sharon and Sarah because they're out every day. They're out there beating the hedges, as we say. But you know what, guys? That's another reason we never know who we're going to meet or who we're going to meet, who we're going to sit next to at a networking meeting. So I'm going to always encourage you guys to network. We're going to go to commercial right now. We'll be back and we're going to talk more to Thomas Edwards Group about what we're seeing out there.
Sounds good.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Hey, Dana, can you guys hear me?
Oh,
I
was
can
I
hear
on
you,
mute that whole
yes,
time?
sir.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I thought it was my in my end. It
Foster
was
yells at
your
me to
you.
keep my stuff on mute. No, I'm just kidding. And then I didn't turn it back on. Okay, let me just remind
Okay, go over
everybody.
it again.
Yeah, no, I apologize, y'all. NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective, and we're proudly serving all of North Texas.
All
And
of it.
we can be heard honestly all over the world. Please do not forget to tune in, and you can listen to us on the NTX Radio app on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play the NTX Radio app. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. We want to thank Tiffany for allowing us to be part of her
Oh
lineup.
yeah.
Do not forget to reach out to Tiffany Hurd if you're interested in discussing the opportunity to have a podcast. Also, we want to thank Mez for being our backbone to the show and in the background doing all these great things to help support us and make sure the
Absolutely.
show goes smoothly. And Foster, I thank you for the privilege of being here every week. It's such a great opportunity. We have a lot of fun, and I know we really strive to bring our listeners value. So I'm excited to jump into the second half of the show to talk a little bit about what we're seeing in the market and how job seekers can continue to prepare themselves and remain proactive in terms of their job search. And then, Foster, did you have a random dad joke that you wanted
You
to
know, I'm
share?
gonna try to I'm gonna try to make you guys laugh again. So Monia and the folks in Italy that are listening right now, you guys are gonna enjoy this one. Monia, I got this especially because I was thinking about you. I selected this one. So my cousin is flying over Italy, and he says, "Okay," he says, "We're flying over some hills near Athens." As
Yep.
we're going, and a lady asks the stewardess, says, "What's the stuff on those hills?" And the stewardess said, "Just snow, regular old snow." He said, "Yeah, that's what I thought, but this fellow in front of me said it was grease." I'm the only one laughing. Come on, y'all. Oh my goodness!
I
Everybody
mean, it
that
was
Not,
cute. It
not
everybody
going
was
to
that knows their
cute.
encourage that.
geography.
No, I know the geography. It's just not funny. Just kidding. It was cute, Foster. It was funny.
Karen down in Mexico, how did I do? I like that joke. Maybe I'm just more nerdy than everybody else. I like
No, it is a cute joke. I will give you that. I just had to shake my head because I'm like, mm-hmm. It's actually, I've been there. Actually, I have family that lives in Greece, and so
Kathleen says, "Oh, Foster, oh my goodness."
that's what I'm saying. Thank you, Kathleen.
So you geography folks, y'all get it, don't you? There you go, Jim. That's what I'm talking
We
about,
get
buddy.
it.
Yay, Nikki Duncan agrees with me. She laughed. Yay. Okay, I got a question. Since Sharon and Sarah are with a company that hires, do you guys have any priority things that you guys are looking for right now that we can get out to the folks? I want y'all to go to their website anyway. Go to thomasedwardsgroup.com. I think is that the right one? And check out what they got. I think Sarah said they had 70 openings. You know what? All you guys need is one. Go check out thomasedwardsgroup.com, especially if you're in finance and accounting. But tell us something, Sharon or Sarah, either one of you guys. What's hot? What's going on?
Yeah.
What do y'all
Yeah.
need right now?
As far as the types of roles you're seeing and market trends, really that can help our broader group of listeners, you know, and encourage them as they're in the job search.
Yeah, we got folks from all over the place listening right now.
And with different backgrounds too, not just accounting and finance. So yeah, just curious to see what your thoughts are on the market, what you've been seeing in the last year and a half.
Sharon, you want to take this?
We could hear from both of y'all. So I think it'd be good for both of y'all to kind of
Okay.
get your
Oh,
insight.
you
Yeah.
guys will figure that out. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, things have fluctuated a lot in the last year and
Yeah.
a half,
Much.
right? So that would be all of 2024 and then this half of 2025. And anytime we have an election year, there is uncertainty. And in general, no matter what kind of a position you're looking for, businesses don't like uncertainty.
Oh,
And so sometimes it feels a little bit like you're moving through molasses a little bit. We hear a lot about either people going through, lots and lots of rounds of interviews,
ah,
or going through and either being ghosted, or seeing jobs posted again and again. Um, I I think it's just because of overall uncertainty. I can't speak a lot to the market outside of DFW and kind of Austin. Um, because we don't do business there. Um, but what I do know is here in Dallas, we're very diversified. We're not like Detroit, right? Detroit's very
uh-huh.
auto centric,
Engineering
right?
and all
So
that stuff. Yeah.
where the auto industry where the auto industry goes, so goes Detroit, right? That's not the case here in Dallas. But I would say that in good times and in bad times, it's those small and middle market companies that keep
Yes.
going, right? They're the ones when um, Brinker has a layoff, or 7-Eleven has a layoff, and they open up some kind of an opportunity. Those small and medium-sized companies are super nimble, and they'll just step right
Mm-hmm.
into that spot, and that usually means hiring. We've also got a lot more private equity activity than we ever have, and private equity has a lot they have a lot of money, and they're going to be opportunistic and step into places that maybe other people, like a traditional bank or a traditional investor, might
Mm-hmm.
not. And so, I'm encouraged. I lived through and I recruited in '08 and
Oh,
'09.
tell me
Okay.
about
So until please, I hope we don't get there, but um, th- none of this is anything like what we saw in '08 and '09. I mean, unemployment, I think right now is at what, 3.8%,
it.
something
I
like
can't
that,
keep up with those
right?
numbers. Yeah.
It's 2% in accounting,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
right? So that's our expertise, but it's still low, and I'm not trying to minimize um, the stress that people have that don't have a job, but we're not looking at unemployment that's in the 6 and 7 and 8 and 10%. Um, there are things that you can do um, to set yourself
Yep.
up to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right places to either be found or um, to find opportunities.
I want to say another observation I've made. Of course, '08, we had the bad Thursday, boy, that the stock market went. Oh my God, I don't know what happened up there. Those people were mad, flying all over the place, papers flying everywhere up there. But it had a marked effect on the entire industry. And job seekers, I want to tell you guys this. Now, you guys know I've been a recruiter for longer than I want to tell you guys that I've been a recruiter. And so when companies place job postings, guys, I know we need a job, and I'm appealing to the common sense of job seekers. I know we need a job, but when a company posts a job, they have a pain. They're interested in what they need. They they care about us, but they don't care to the point to where they want to hire us because we need a job. And oh my God, uh, we need to be accurate as we can be when we apply for jobs, making sure
Yeah.
that we're sharing information that's congruent to what they're asking for on the job postings. Because you've got companies like Sharon's and Sarah, they love you guys to death, and man, they go to barbecue with you and stuff like that. But if you want to apply for a job and you're not a fit for that job, in the company's eyes, guys, not ours. In the company's eyes, they're the ones that need a fit. If if I go home and water's broke out all over my house and I need to hire a plumber, I'm not looking to hire a car uh, 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 a car repair person that thinks he knows how to do plumbing. Now, I know that I'm going to get in trouble with some of you guys as I'm saying this, but it's the truth. I'm going to get close to the screen. That is the truth. You guys got to be a fit. And
That's true.
and that fit comes from that company side, guys, not us, because we need a job and we're panicking. And oh, I worked in the SAP environment, but have you done what the company needs to do? This is a conversation that I had yesterday. Have you used SAP in the respect that that company is looking to hire somebody to come in and do that? So, guys, uh, Thomas Edwards Group is representing a lot of those companies, but we need to take care of that. Now, I'm going to suggest very strongly, because of my relationship with the Thomas Edwards Group, that you guys go to thomasedwards.com and check out what they have there. Now, when you do that, you have a Sarah that you can talk to about a certain position. But come on now, guys, let's be a fit for that position. Let's show on our resumes, let's show experience that we've had to prove that you've got that experience that you want to talk to Sarah about. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
shut up.
Foster.
Love it.
Well, and we recommend all of our candidates be strategic in what you're applying for,
Yes.
right? If if you go out with the shotgun approach and you apply for 100 jobs a day because that's something that somebody put in your head as a
Uh-uh.
stat, but you're applying to a bunch of things that aren't the right fit, aren't the right industry, aren't the right part of town, you're going to end up getting, unfortunately, ghosted and
Yeah.
or discouraged when you're not picked, when they don't want to interview, um, and that just fuels the fire. But
It
unfortunately, if
does.
you're applying for things that aren't necessarily a good fit for you, it's a waste of your time, it's a
It
waste of their
is.
time, and it can be so discouraging as a job seeker.
Yeah.
As opposed to what we recommend, which is be really strategic and smart about what you're applying for, who you're talking to, how you're spending your time as a job seeker, networking with the right people,
Right. That's
networking
Mm,
right.
that's
networking with
important.
people that are employed and have a good network and can introduce you to other people, applying for things that are really the right fit for you. That's how you get some traction there, Foster. So you're exactly right,
Hmm.
and we like to help with that. But I think that's a great point.
And guys, when you talk, now I'm not leaving Sharon out, but when you talk
Huh.
to Sarah, Sarah's a little bit closer to where the rubber meets the road at Thomas
Yeah.
Edwards Group. Sharon is the big boss, and she's a wonderful big boss, and we love having Sharon around because she's been in the trenches too, y'all. She knows what time it is, as me and
Uh huh.
Dana like to say.
Oh yeah.
So, guys, when you connect with Sarah, let's talk be apples and oranges. Okay, Sarah, I saw this. I've had this experience here. You know your clients. Now, Thomas Edwards Group has a real good relationship. There's my word again, relationship with these clients. They can tell you the ins and outs of what certain hiring managers are looking for because they got a respect for them, but they have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And guys, um, Sharon and Sarah will be glad to tell you what the magic sauce is for a certain position because they've talked to the hiring manager. Not all companies can say that unless the recruiter is inside of the company. You know something? I worked for these monstrosities of companies. I was the director of talent acquisition for big old companies, Verizon, Citigroup, and all those kind of companies. You know what? I insisted that my recruiters sit down with those hiring managers. If you're going to serve somebody, sit
Yeah.
down, talk to them, and find out what it is that they need so that those intangibles that aren't necessarily the things that are posted on job postings can be. Because I guarantee you, we recruiters go through things
Yep.
and we learn what they're really trying to hire by serving them and sending them what they say they wanted. Then they tell us, oh, we want them to look like this. We want them to have a purple horn sticking out of their head, or want them to wear a certain type of tennis shoes. I'm kidding. But
Mhm.
guys, that is the world of a recruiter. Now, I tell you guys this so that you can understand why we are or are not getting answers sometimes to our questions. But I want you guys to meet people that know the game and prove it every week in there goes my brain again. In our network, we see Sharon. We see Sharon. Each and every week, guys, these are the people that know what's going on. And what we are seeing, their clients are seeing the same thing. They're reaching out and they're building relationships with those clients. But you know what? They're in the network building relationships with us. I think that carries a lot of value.
It does.
Again, I didn't, nobody died and made me king of figuring it out. But I'm not going to tell y'all how long I've been recruiting. Y'all think I'm old and I'm not old. But I've seen a lot, guys, and I'm just sharing with you guys what I've seen. So that said, go to Thomas Edwards Group and check out what they got going on. And you got two people right there in front of you, Sharon Adams, and you might see Sharon Luckage. I knew her when she was Luckage. And Sharon Adams and Sarah Jacob. Don't put an S on her, Jacob. She's only one Jacob.
Well, I will say, I've seen a lot of growth in the job market. I'm not saying it's back to pre-COVID, but I've seen a lot of improvement. In certain areas more than others, but in general, we're seeing more job opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of job advertisements on LinkedIn. I can say that the space I'm in, talent acquisition, suffered tremendously during COVID, and I can see improvement even in talent acquisition, which means hiring is growing. We've almost doubled the amount of recs that we have open nationwide since the
Yeah, you
beginning of
guys are a
this
big
year.
company. Yeah.
But I'm on the corporate side, right? So we'll see very uh, on the corporate side versus the agency side, it's a little bit sometimes different of a dynamic. On the agency side, companies are typically paying a fee to use them. So, I can imagine that would have a little bit different of a dynamic.
Okay.
On the corporate side, where we're recruiting people directly to work with our company and there's not a third party involved, we've definitely grown. So I want to encourage job seekers out there, but you do have to be proactive. You do need to make sure. I always say when you go look at a job description, if you have at least 60% of what is needed, that could be maybe a bare baseline. If you have less than that, unless you know someone, probably not a good, and they're willing to train, or depending on the type of role. Like if there are certain levels of degrees or certifications you literally have to do that job. For example, in the medical space, you can't get around it, or you don't get paid for the procedure that you do if you don't have the right credentials, right? So utilizing common sense like that, make sure if you're going to apply to a job, you're showing why you're applying to it and your
Right.
skills section is up to date, showing and reflecting, because your job description, your work history is going to be the same, right? The newest to the oldest, it's going to be the same no matter what, but you want to make sure you're showing what skills that you've acquired that make you qualified for that job in your skills section. And then you want to make sure those are reflected under the jobs that you did those things. Those types of things can make or break if you get noticed and or an opportunity to have further discussions for that role. Don't just throw a general resume and expect it
Oh yeah.
to hear something.
Yeah, you guys, when we call it spray and pray, a lot of you
Yeah,
guys are sending your resumes out to a million different
true.
jobs. And another thing that I had another conversation about yesterday, a guy told me, Foster, I applied for 5 jobs at this one company. Now, it happened to be a company I used to work for. So I got a
Yeah,
little bit of insight on that. So he was asking some questions. And when you tell me, guys, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I don't have to be right in every situation, but you
sure.
know what?
Yeah.
I bet you I'm right 99% of the time of what I'm about to say. If
Hmm.
you guys applied for 5 different jobs at a company, you're not a fit for all 5 of those jobs.
More than
They're going to
likely,
look,
no.
and
Mm-mm.
then some of those people, and I want to get Sarah and Sharon's opinion on it. Um, it kind of looks desperate.
It does.
No, no, not kind of. It is. It is. I need a
It
job.
is.
Oh my God. I'm going to apply for everything. No, you should not, guys. Should not. Now, I'm going to shut up and listen to Sharon and Sarah talk about that kind of thing.
Do you want to take that? Sharon?
Sure. No, Foster, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. When I have a candidate who, whether or not they are desperate, they are job seeking and they're ready to get back to work. These are
Right.
smart people. They want to earn a wage. They want to provide for their family. But sometimes their answer is, I'll do anything. I'll go anywhere.
Oh,
I don't
no.
care
Oh,
what
no.
part
Oh,
of
no.
town it's in. I don't care if it's in the office or remote. I don't care what my salary is going to be. I'm open to 18 different job descriptions. It's actually a disadvantage to them because
Mhm.
they're not focused and they're not looking for something that's going to ultimately be a good job / career path for them
Yeah.
in the longer term. And so I really push and encourage them to focus a little more. Just, I may not be able to find you what's perfect, but help me understand what would be ideal and what would be the right thing for you, because that
Mhm.
helps us keep in mind, where they might be the right fit. So you're exactly right. It's actually working opposite of what they think, right? They
Yeah.
think, well, I'm open to anything, and so that's going to make me easier to place, and it's going to help me. And unfortunately, it's quite honestly the opposite of that. It's easier to help you if you really know what you're looking for.
Yeah, it really
So
is. I'm
that's
so
my
glad
thoughts.
that
I'll
you
let
brought
Sharon.
that up. Well, I just wanted to jump in real quick. I want to say thank you for bringing that up because I did have a individual who excellent resume, engineer in the aerospace market, great individual. And he'd been with his company for a little bit and was looking to relocate to another state and asked for my help with the resume. And he had told me, well, I want to show how interested I am. So I went and applied to a ton of their jobs on their website, whether I was qualified or not. And I was like, really? Why'd you do that? And he goes, well, I thought if I applied to a bunch of jobs, they would see how interested I was and that would impress them. And I said, well, actually, it's quite the opposite. When you do that, it kind of comes across as desperate. You're not focused in your search, and people that over apply and have applied to a bunch of different things, honestly, in most circumstances don't get taken seriously. And he was like, oh, really? And I was like, yes. So I second what you just said, because it can be a misconception that, oh, well, maybe if I apply a bunch, I look good. I'm showing them how interested I am in the company, and that will
Uh-huh.
impress them. But that couldn't be further from the truth, right? So
That's true. One more thing before we run out of time, guys, that I want to say. I am really, really excited. I love the idea in the innovations that I'm seeing in
yeah.
AI technology,
Mhm.
guys. But here's what I'm going to tell you: AI, guys, use it as a tool. Now, if I give you a hammer, you can build a wonderful house. Maybe you build a dog house, something for your dog. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, you could bust Foster upside the head and kill him with it, right?
Oh
So
my
it's a
word.
matter of how you use the tool, guys. I'm going to suggest strongly that you guys use AI, but make sure and double check what AI is putting out on you. Make
Yeah.
sure, because AI can't read your mind. And if you didn't put it on social media or somewhere out on the open web, AI ain't going to know.
Mm-mm.
So, guys, use AI, but use it wisely. It is a tool, guys.
It is. I appreciate that, Foster, as
I'm
well.
sorry I took away from Sharon.
Yeah,
Sharon,
Sharon,
I,
please go
I
for it.
just
Both
had,
of us have.
No,
I just had to,
no,
I just had to say that
no.
one. Yeah.
But
You're
it's
right.
important. It is.
You're right. You're right. Just be authentic. Um, and what I will say is, if you talk to somebody and you're
Mhm.
desperate, they
Yeah.
can tell.
That's true.
They can tell. They can tell. So That's why you should apply for and talk to people that have jobs that you are qualified for. Because if you're qualified, then that confidence is going to come.
It sure
come
will.
Oh,
I
it's
think
that
everybody
time,
that's with
Foster.
us today, I hear music. I know, Dana. My
Aw.
goodness. We're
Have a
having good
great
time.
Memorial weekend,
Thank you,
everybody.
Sarah and Sharon. Thanks a lot. Have a good
Thanks,
long
everybody.
weekend.
Bye.
Go to College Station and have fun.